Day two, gonna spice it up a little bit here, a little more difficult. Day one wasn't too bad, I don't think. Now they're gonna make you pay. So, having said that, what I'm about to show you is something you've done first try. You actually did it recently with parabolas, and it's completing the square. So remember, if we have something like this, x minus 2 squared plus y plus 4 squared equals 25, we're easy peasy. The center is 2, negative 4, radius is 5. So here's the problem. Again, like a word scramble, they're going to take this looking thing, they're going to scramble it up. You got to get from here to something that looks like this. That's where completing the square is going to be your bestie friend. So what we're going to do, we're going to gather our x trinomial stuff. We're going to gather our y trinomial stuff. We're going to get rid of this because, forgot the space. Remember, this is going to be our radius squared. Now don't panic. You're thinking, hey, you can't have a negative radius. You're right, but we haven't completed the square yet. Remember the rules. Now they were very nice to you on these, I think, because you got to have a 1, you got to have a 1. If those aren't 1s, it is a royal pain in the butt, and that is not for today. So now we've got our perfect square trinomial all set up. Take half, 2, square it, 4. Wait, I just added 4 to this side. I'm going to subtract 4 on that side. So now we go over to here. What's half of negative 8? Negative 4. Squared, 16. But if I add, oops, I screwed up. Did you see it? I added 4 to this side. I have to add 4 to that side to keep it balanced. Humanity. I added 16 to this side. I got to add 16 to that side. Okay. So now, this is a perfect square trinomial, so that turns into x plus 2 squared. This is also a perfect square trinomial, so that turns into y minus 4 squared. Negative 4 and 4 cancel, so I get 16. All right, what's the center? Negative 2, 4. There's the center. What's the radius? Well, the square root of 16 is 4. What's the area? Well, pi r squared. I got to square this, so it's 16 pi. That would be my area. All right, there's more where that comes from. All right, you haven't seen a problem like this before. So they're going to ask you, well, you've seen problems like it, where you solve systems of equations. So you guys are used to these. Now I'm going to make this as easy as possible. Something like this. You're like, oh, I'm going to add these together. 2x equals 24, x is 12. Put this somewhere and find y. You guys have done those a lot. Now they're going to increase the difficulty, but don't panic. I want you to know something. What we have is 2 equations with 2 variables. Now you guys might say, well, you have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I say 2 variables, I'm just saying you got some x's and you got some y's. What we want is 1 equation and 1 variable. Because if we can get from here to here, then we can find the 1 variable. And then once we know 1 variable, we can plug it into either one of these to find the other one. So how are you going to do that? Well, the one I showed you over here is nice and neat. You just add them together. The y's canceled. That is not going to happen here. So here's your good friend substitution. So this right here is a line, linear equation. I know that because if I rearranged it, it'd be y equals mx plus b. So I have a situation where, oh, and this is going to be a circle. Just add 25 to both sides and you can see. So I'm going to have a circle and I'm going to have a line. So there could be no solution. The line could come in and touch the circle at one spot. So you have one solution, or you might have 2 solutions. How are you going to get started? Start here. See that y sitting all by itself? I'm going to get y equals some stuff, mathematical stuff. Then I'm going to stick it right in there, and then I'm going to have 1 equation, 1 unknown. So let's get busy right here. So 3x minus y minus 5 equals 0. I'm going to subtract 3x and add 5. Subtract 3x and add 5. So if I make one of these things, I get negative y, don't forget the negative, equals negative 3x plus 5. So I got to multiply all that by negative 1, so y equals 3x minus 5. That's got to hit that, hit that, hit that. This is what I'm going to put in right here, well actually right here. So let me erase this second, 3x minus 5. So we know that y equals 3x minus 5 doing our work. We're going to put that value for y right here. So x squared plus y squared minus 25 is 0. Now, yeah, this is a nasty looking thing. This, I need you to know that 2 plus 3 squared. Can I just go 2 squared plus 3 squared, question mark, question mark? The answer is no. How do you know that? That's 4 plus 9, which is 13. Wait a minute. How could this equal 13 if we have 5 squared? So don't you dare take that and apply it to those things individually. So do not make this 9x squared plus 25. So what do? Well, I'm glad you asked. To square a binomial, you have to square a binomial. Hopefully that's a routine, but maybe you've forgotten this. So I got to FOIL this. Yuck. 9x squared minus 15x minus 15x plus 25. Now I'm going to clean that up a little bit because I see some like terms. But I have this x squared plus 9x squared minus 30x plus 25, and then this thing comes along for the ride, and notice what happens to the 25s. They disappear. These are like terms, like 10x squared minus 30x equals 0. Now this goes back to pre-algebra, algebra 1, and it's factoring. So what can I take out of here? A 10x. Take as much as you can out, and I'm left with x minus 3 equals 0. We have two situations. What value for x will cause this thing to be 0? 3. What value for x will cause this thing to be 0? 0, because 10 times 0 is 0. So I got x equals 0 and x equals 3. What am I looking for? Well, remember, I said one of our possibilities is that a line comes through and connects with the circle twice, and we have that situation. So how am I going to find the corresponding y's for this and this? Plug them in. Plug them into the easiest one possible. So I'm going to take this one. So I have 3x, remember I'm looking for that one now, minus y minus 5 equals 0. Well, that's gone, so negative y minus 5 equals 0. I'm going to add 5 to both sides, multiplying by negative 1, so I get y equals negative 5. So there's my first point, which is 0 comma negative 5. Now, I need, my battery's dying here, hopefully it's showing up. Let me plug this thing in. Okay, now we know x is 3. Now I'm going to show you something different. I'm going to go ahead and plug it into this one and just see what happens. So what's 3 squared? That's 9 plus y squared minus 25 equals 0. So that is y squared. 9 and negative 25 is negative 16. I'm going to bring the 16 over, so I get y squared equals 16. And now I'm going to go bada boom, bada bing, and then do the right thing. I get y equals plus or minus 4. This is interesting what I've done. I've kind of caught myself in a little situation. So we're only supposed to get 2 possibilities, and I got maybe 3. So maybe we should have plugged this 3 into here. That would have been better. But seeing I did it, let's take a look. I'm so sorry. Let's take a look at that circle. And let's get a good look at what's going on here. So that circle, if I add 25 to both sides, I get x squared plus y squared. This is where graphing helps. And I know that I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I connect the dots, I've got a general idea of what this circle looks like. Now watch this. If I go plus or minus 4 here, I'd have 3, 4. So I'd go 1, 2, 3, up 4. Looks like a winner. And then I'd go 3, negative 4, and I'd go 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 4. Uh-oh. All right, I think I've taught you one way not to do it, but I'm going to keep going with this explanation. This is a linear graph, and I got to figure out, is it this one or this one? Remember, 0, negative 5 was the first one we found a few seconds ago. So this line's either going to go like this, or it's going to go like that. Well, let's take a look at the actual line and put it in y equals mx plus b. This is definitely the difficult way of doing it. Negative y equals negative 3x plus 5, multiplied by negative 1. And if I graph this, look at my y-intercept is 5, so it verifies that that's one of my answers. And if I go up 3, right 1, it'd be 1, 2, 3, right 1, you can see that this line would go here, meaning this is a nope. So our two answers are 0, negative 5, and 3, 4. Now I'm not going to show you my work, but remember we had 3 comma trying to figure out what that was. If we'd have just plugged this right in here, this would have spit out the proper answer, 3, 4. You can go ahead and do it. I just don't want to take up too much more of your time. So that concludes the pre-lesson. Make sure to watch a couple sample problems, and hopefully I'll do it the easy way. But I'm glad that happened. That's good. That's math.